Hello students. So today we are looking a concept in sexually reproduction in flowering plants. So in this chapter, let's look at the types of apomixis and polyembryony. Then first let's look at them one by one. First term is apomixis. Then what is apomixis? As the term says, apo meaning without and mixis meaning meeting. That means there is formation of a seed without fertilization. This is what is termed as apomixis. Then in the apomixis, the offsprings that are produced are genetically identical. That means they are genetically similar. So the offsprings, the progeny, the next generation that is produced, they are exactly same. They are exactly similar copies. And hence, when they are exactly similar to that of their parents, we can call these offsprings as clones. That means as this is a process of sexual reproduction, and it also mimics a sexual reproduction because the offsprings are exactly 100% similar to that of the parents. And what is the exact importance of the apomixis? We'll see it in the later part. Then in the apomixis, we come across a term called as ergamospermy. So ergamospermy is development of seeds without fertilization. As it comes under apomixis, the same definition also holds good for this. Then ergamospermy, it is divided into three types. Then what are the three different types of ergamospermy? First one is non-recurrent ergamospermy. Second one is recurrent ergamospermy, and third one is adventive ergamospermy. So these are the three different types of ergamospermy. Out of these, the first one is non-recurrent ergamospermy. What exactly is non-recurrent ergamospermy? The development of embryo sac occurs from the megaspore mother cell normally. That means this embryo sac develops from megaspore mother cell, which is diploid. And as this MMC is diploid, embryo sac is formed from this normally. And the embryo formation occurs from the unfertilized egg. And when it is formed from unfertilized egg, this embryo generally remains haploid. Then in case of this, there is alternation of generation is absent or it is not seen. So alternation of generation is nothing but a formation of a gametophyte from sporophyte and vice versa. So this does not occur in the non-recurrent ergamospermy. Then let's look at the second one, recurrent ergamospermy. What exactly it is? Embryo sac develops from archegonium or nucellus. Remember, the archegonial cells or the nucellar cells, they are diploid in nature. That means their ploidy is 2n. As they are diploid in nature, embryo sac develops directly from the nucellar or the archegonial cells, and hence the embryo sac should be diploid, or the embryo that develops from the embryo sac will be generally diploid in nature. The embryo develops from unfertilized egg cell or from any cell of the nucellus. As the nucellus is diploid, it develops from any of the nucellar cells. Alternation of generation is found. That means the sporophytic and gametophytic generations are also observed in this. Third type, adventive ergamospermy. Embryo develops from the cell other than the gametophyte or embryo sac. That is, it develops from a sporophytic tissue. So sporophytic tissue might be any kind of a diploid tissue. Then alternation of generation is also not found in such case of adventive ergamospermy. Then apart from these, we have other terms also related with the apomixis. First one is apogamy, second one is apospory. So what exactly is apogamy and apospory? Apogamy means the development of a sporophyte, that is 2n, from a gametophyte without fertilization is termed as apogamy. And what is apospory? The development of a 2n gametophyte. That means a gametophyte is generally haploid, but the development of 2n diploid gametophyte without meiosis and spores from vegetative or non-reproductive cells of the sporophyte. That means from the non-reproductive part of the sporophyte, the diploid gametophyte is produced without fertilization. Hence, it is said to be apospory. So, this is regarding the part and types of apomixis. Then, what is the importance of apomictic seeds? So, why we have to develop apomictic seeds? Now, in the recent days, plant physiologists, what they are doing is they are trying to produce many of the apomictic seeds. The reason behind this is when we produce apomictic seeds, there is no change in the genes in the part of the genetic recombination. As there is no gene recombination in the progeny, the parental desired characters will be retained in the offsprings, and hence such seeds can be used by the farmers, and the same seeds can be sown into the field year by year. No need to buy it from the market, no need to lose the money for the farmers, and hence it is one of the economical process. The one benefit, the best benefit of the apomictic seeds is they can be reused year after year. There is no segregation of the genes, no segregation of the gametes, and hence the apomictic seeds are very useful as they retain the parental characters. But generally in the hybrid seeds that we get it from the market and that we use in our farmlands, we cannot use it in the next year because they have to be produced by the process of hybridization, and hence the cost is also more, and they cannot be reused or resown into the agriculture field year by year. That's why the best seeds that can be used to retain the parental characters, to retain the desired character, is the apomictic seeds. Then let's go to the next part. Next part is a polyembryony. Okay, now as we come across a polyembryony, the term says poly meaning many, embryony means embryos. So what is polyembryony? The formation of many embryos in a seed. So what is the definition here? The formation of many embryos in a seed. This is called as a polyembryony. Polyembryony can be best seen in certain citrus fruits. Okay, so this is regarding the part of apomixis and polyembryony. And if you want to write it, what you have to do is you have to pause the video, just zoom it, just see it and write on it. Okay, so in the next class, let us meet with a new concept. Thank you.